This morning, you're welcome to the third in the series of the forum that brings together the various ecosystems who are geared towards building a thriving and a sustainable ecosystem for Ghana's economy. This year's theme for the ESO Collaborative happens to be shared challenges, shared solutions, value creation for a resilient and inclusive ecosystems.
On behalf of the Ghana Hubs Network, I extend a warm welcome to all of you. It is an honor to be a co-host for this year's ESO Forum, a platform designed to address the unique challenges faced by ESOs and SMEs.
It is always such a pleasure to gather again with all the enterprise support organizations across the country for the Ghana ESO Forum. It's been a real honor at Impact Investing Ghana to host the Secretariat and to be part of this movement to get us to collaborate to make the pie even bigger for businesses and for transformation.
Today we're having a family discussion, so enough of the formalities. They said we should be very frank and open and honest. So Ghana's ecosystem over the last decade has come far. You don't have an ecosystem until the point of failure is multiple. If government shuts down today, our ecosystem will still thrive.
An ecosystem represents much more than individual organizations and programs. It is in fact a network of interconnected stakeholders, resources, and systems that work together to sustain and uplift small businesses.
I want to call on every one of us here to share in the challenges. Let's also share in the solutions and the opportunities for us to be able to drive a resilient and inclusive ecosystem through value creation. I wish you a fruitful discussion and event today.
We already introduced our panel. They are going to look at how we translate our problems or our challenges that we've talked about this morning, how we can translate these into shared solutions that will create some real value across the ecosystem of Ghana.
So what are some of the policies that you feel needs to be put in place in order for this ecosystem to get the support that they need?
The kind of critical funding that startups or entrepreneurs need to start off their businesses isn't available. In the global north, a startup may have access to overdraft facilities or some credit card, quick funding that they could rely on. Here, it's not the case. Private sector cannot take that hit, but government can take that.
Well, first of all, Impact Investing Ghana is a private sector-led membership network organization. And some of you, this is our third ESO Collaborative Forum. So every year we sit like this, we have very honest and open conversations. We document our challenges, we try and dissect them, understand them, and really get to the nitty-gritty of what we actually need as a collective.
If you know anything about GIZ, you know that we like bringing people together, creating associations, helping local partners to form, entities that could also be strong voices for policy as well.
As ESOs, how do we collaborate to make sure we avoid duplication of efforts and in that order maximize our impact across the country?
There's also a certain responsibility on the hubs and intermediary organizations to give us collective, information.
The pooled fund is really to help us as ESOs develop our own organizations, right? Our talent, our systems, our processes, our finance, our governance. We need that support as well.
But I also want to encourage institutions like the banks that sometimes I would wish that you don't compete with the ESOs, but you support the ESOs instead.
At this point, we're going to have roundtable discussions, and each table should be well represented, having each of the ecosystem partners we are looking at today. So this session is on collaboration and access to financing.
One innovative way is for funders to design their funds with ESOs in mind, to leverage the expertise of ESOs.
The goal for this research, in my opinion, is to make sure we understand what certain terms mean. We've had frameworks existing in the space, but we want to consolidate everything within the space to make it for Ghana, by Ghana.
what should we look out for as we head into another year of enterprise support for SMEs across the ecosystem here in Ghana?
God willing, 2025, focus more on the visibility.
Would also like to see international peer-to-peer exchange programs for ESOs.
Roll out the shared common language framework across the ecosystem by Q1 2025.
So as we wrap up this year's ESO Forum, on behalf of the ESO Collaborative, Impact Investing Ghana, I just want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for contributing to making this gathering a success, for your active participation and contribution.
Please.